Yeah, it's about the bag with the triple single crew. We got Ronnie, Doc, Antonio, the real deal too. They coming and dropping knowledge, you know that they get to work. You know that triple single cover Bay Area sports. You know I'm coming hard, I don't feel like I'm in a hurry. Like number 30, I really got the range like Stephen Curry. Get a couple rings, you know.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Triple Single Crew at TSC Bay Area. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, leave some comments as well. We definitely want to hear what you guys have to say, and it just helps inform us and inform our content. It just makes it that much richer. And make sure to comment on our social media platforms as well. We love debating back and forth. So just make sure you guys are engaged because we'll engage right back. So, fellas, we got another week. A lot going on. How do you guys feel about some Warriors trade possibility talk? What's up, Doc?
Yeah. This is a conversation that I was really excited to tackle on. I have my take ready, and so I'm excited to share. And so here it goes, y'all. This season has definitely provided a lot of ups and downs. The ups include having Stephen Curry back on the court and having James Wiseman show flashes of his potential of what he could one day become, which I believe is a top 3 big man in the league.
Yep.
The downs include some of the inconsistencies from key players like Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Kelly Oubre. This was more in the beginning of the season, especially with Draymond needing to get his conditioning back up after dealing with COVID. And then obviously we know Kelly Oubre was ice cold from the 3-point line for a lot of the beginning of the season, but he's getting it together. He's learning the system. He's now knowing when to slash and when to take shots. And we've seen a vast improvement, especially in the month of February. So I'm excited for him. But at some point, right, that was a part of the downs. Having said that, the Warriors continue to show that the more time that their team can build chemistry, the better they play as a unit and the more likely they are to beat the teams that they should be able to beat, while also providing a good fight and sometimes even upsetting the top teams in the league, such as the Lakers and the Clippers, which we were able to beat in a comeback fashion earlier this season.
Yeah.
As we discuss what options the Warriors should look into before the trade deadline, the first thing that comes to mind is a backup point guard. Brad freaking Wanamaker has frustrated me more than any other player has in my time as a Dubs fan, which is 20 years at this point. His inability to play make for other players, his inability to hit an open shot when it's there completely defeats the purpose of him being the backup point guard. Let me also add that he has a horrible tendency to drive to the rim against big men only to miss his layup attempts or get blocked. Let me just put it this way. Juan Toscano Anderson, who doesn't even have a guaranteed contract, he's on a 2-way contract and Kerr is having to limit his playing time, does every single thing that Wanamaker does. Plus, he's about 5 inches taller, more athletic, has a higher basketball IQ, and actually contributes to winning basketball. If you want to know why the second unit so often blows a 10-point lead and sometimes gets into a 10-point deficit, look no further than Brad freaking Wanamaker. So now, who are the options the Warriors could look at? For my take, I'm actually going to stay in-house. So I'm not even going to go the trade route, although I know that's what we were going to focus on, but I'll explain why later.
Right.
I'm going to stay in-house, and the guys that I'm thinking about include Jeremy Lin, Jordan Poole, and Nico Mannion. Jeremy Lin might not offer the playmaking that I would like, but he has shown the ability to hit an open shot. He's doing a good job at that in the G League bubble so far. He would also provide a veteran presence similar to Brad Wanamaker, but without the trash play. Next, you have Nico Mannion and Jordan Poole, 2 young guys that I believe the team would really benefit from continuing to evaluate and see if either guy could be the backup point guard of the future. In Poole, you have more of a scoring type player who has shown flashes of playmaking, but he continues to struggle with turnovers, and we've seen that in the G League. I think he had a game where he had almost 7-8 turnovers.
I think this last game, that's what I was going to say. Your guy, Jordan Poole, is actually doing really well with the slashing. He's gotten really good at that. And just he's become such a scorer, but he had like 29 points in like 12 turnover. And I was like,
yeah,
or 10 or something this last game. And I'm like, how do you do that, man? Like he's like the Jameis Winston of freaking of the Dubs and the G. It's like 30 touchdowns, 30 picks. And it's like, so I don't know how he'd be up here if he's turning it over at that rate. But let me throw another name out at you from the G. Isaiah Reese, this 6'5" kid. believe he's in Houston, and he just is really good defensively. He's a little more sturdy and stronger than Poole. He can handle the ball. He can shoot the three. He can make a jumper. So they've got options down there, man.
Yeah.
And you're right. Nico, I think he's out because he got hurt. So I haven't seen him the last couple of games. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of G League, and instead of going the trade route, I mean, we've got some guys, and Jeremy Lin too. But my thing with Jeremy is like he also has been turning the ball over a lot.
Yeah.
He's kind of slow. I don't know what it is. He can score, but he's a little bit kind of slow and lackadaisical, which I know is something you hate in Wanamaker.
Yeah.
And so on defense, I think he'd be a big liability. Whereas Poole is a little younger and quicker, even though he's not as strong. And then, like I said, this guy, Isaiah Reese, is a guy I really like right now. And they got a few others there, Pemberton and some other dudes. But I really like that guy in particular. What do you think?
Yeah, most definitely. And some other things I was going to say about Poole too, as I was giving my take, is that I've noticed he shoots a lot better with the ball in his hands than he does in catch and shoot situations. And so that's something that, you know, we got to take into account. And then another observation, which you kind of touched upon, is that he doesn't play all that great on defense. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he is on the skinnier end, and other guards can drive past him with ease. But the last thing I'll say just on my take is that I really want to also just acknowledge and recognize Nico Mannion as an option, who was our second round pick and has shown an amazing amount of tenacity and grit when he is on the court. I feel like he's also demonstrated very high basketball IQ for such a young player. For example, when he has the ball in his hands, you can tell that he's scanning the floor while also having the ability to drive to the rim with his underrated athleticism, which I think now everybody's starting to find out. For those that didn't follow him in high school, because in high school his highlights are insane, but in college he wasn't really all that bouncy. But he had a few some great dunks in the G League recently that I think are putting him back on the map with his athleticism. But the thing that I also really stands out to me about Nico is that when I've seen him play, he just exudes this confidence, which you don't often see from not only a rookie player, but a second round pick at that. And I really like that. And so I think he would be good. And last thing I'll say is that the reason I didn't go the trade route is I think it would be more of a benefit to our team if we continue to develop and grow from within than continuing to bring guys from outside organizations and trying to teach them the system, teach them the culture. I just feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Totally agree with that. I'm going to go with Antonio with this one. I wouldn't go with the trade route. I just feel like, you know, this year, you know, not having Klay Thompson, you know, not having the full healthy team, just, you know, let the young players develop, you know, James Wiseman, Jordan Poole, Nico Mannion, you know, have all those guys develop. And once the Warriors have actually a complete team, a complete healthy team, they'll contend for a title automatically. You know, that starting five is going to be like top notch. And then with that bench, you know, with all those players that we just named, I don't think they need to go with the trade route. I agree with Antonio on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. Like, we know that we said, hey, let's talk about trade possibilities, but some of this is just, there are possibilities. I mean, you can go try to pick up shooters, but the thing is, remember, you got to pay those guys.
Yep.
So, you know, this is more like trade possibilities or other possibilities in general that maybe we could have that would improve the team. Right. So like I said, I mean, I'm actually surprised. I wasn't expecting to see so many guys that I really like down in the G, and honestly in Poole. Like I said, I am impressed with his offensive game as far as, and again, it's a different level. I mean, they don't defend down in the G nearly the way they do in the NBA, but I like it's the confidence. Like you're saying, Antonio, if you get these guys up here, once they've built confidence down in the G, they come up, then you can see them really ascend. Kind of like Nico's already confident. I mean, and he was doing pretty well down there. I think it was just a three. I mean, the three ball, he would be like, you know, 2 for 10 or 3 for 11 or 3 for, and they want to see that if that's at 35, 40%. But you're right. We're not getting that as it is from a veteran. And I'm not going to say his name.
Brad Wanamaker.
I'm just going to call him Brad on this show. I was saying Brad, that guy, number 10.
That guy,
Yeah, you know that guy, number 10 right now. So like he's supposed to just give you the handling. I mean, I'm with you. I think Nico handles really well, and he wasn't turning the ball over. You only need him for about 9 or 10 minutes up here. So Yeah, I don't really know what the plan is there. So I think this is more about instead of who can we trade for? I mean, like you can trade for an older shooter like I don't know, like JJ Redick or something like that.
Yeah.
But he might be expensive, right? With our cap situation right now.
Yeah.
And does he make you exponentially better? I don't
I don't
know.
think so. Yeah.
I don't think so. Not
Yeah.
at this point, right? And so at this point, it's more about, hey, what can we do to make sure that we keep developing, that we and don't forget, like you said, your guy JJ Justinian Jessup is in Australia. So we're gonna see him probably. I don't think we can see him at the end of this year, right? Do you
I
know
don't
that?
think so. I don't think
Yeah.
they'll add him to the roster.
Yeah. So we'd have to then wait until next year. But
Yeah.
I mean, you get that guy. He's like I said, he's like a very poor man's Clay Thompson. Not even that poor, but like a poor man's Clay in
Yeah.
his shooting ability, his size, everything, his the way he moves. So you get that guy coming off your bench, and he's gonna be really cheap still. So I think you get that guy, Nico second year, Wiseman second year, and that protected pick, right, from Minnesota. So that's the big thing, right? Who can we get? And I was looking at some tape. I like a lot of these guys. I like that kid from Florida State though. The big, he's like 6'10", and I forget. I'm blanking on his name right now because I looked at all the other guys you guys are talking
I
about.
know who you're talking about. I'm
Yeah,
just blanking out.
I
Too.
like
He can
that guy.
somewhat handle the rock, right? He has
Yeah, he
somewhat of a
can. And so I looked at Jalen Johnson. I looked at some of these other guys, and the guy from the G League as well. I'm blanking on his name. Kaminga. I like Kaminga. So the two that I like were Kaminga, who's in the G right now playing for the Ignite, and then this kid from Florida State. So if you find his name, let me know because this guy is about 6'10". He can handle the rock, shot blocker. And that's kind of what the Warriors need. I feel like we still need more bigs. You never have enough bigs or wings, right?
You're talking about Scotty Barnes, a 6'9",
Scotty Barnes. That's the guy.
225. Yeah, he's projected top 10. He's projected top 10.
There you go, Scotty Barnes.
Mhm.
So guys like that, that are strong, can impose their will down low. I mean, I'm good with that because I think with the wings, like I said, we've got plenty of these young wings in the G. Like I said, Jessup is going to come up. So, I mean, I'm not, and look, we're probably going to find somebody in the second again, like we just find these guys.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm not that stressed about that. And again, Clay's coming back as well. So,
yeah, I think the only guy that comes to mind for the sake of the conversation of trade deadline that for some reason has really stood out to me in the games that I've seen them, which has been when they played against us, is Jalen Brunson from the Dallas Mavericks. I thought he's been really impressive. Just his composure, handling the rock, his shooting ability, his scoring ability, and he wasn't too much of a liability. And that's right, talking about the Dallas Mavericks, who have horrible defense when they played us at least, but they didn't expose him, even though he is a little bit smaller in stature versus some of the more bigger guards. And so that's a guy that had come to mind. I know Derrick Rose was at some point a rumor of potentially maybe being a fit for the Warriors, but he's on the Knicks, and we're wishing him the best, especially with everything that guy's gone through.
Yeah.
And aside from those two, there's not really anybody who stands out because you'd have to really look at the bottom teams, right? And you're not going to get anybody of significance there because especially since there's now the play-in game for the top 10 seed.
Right.
I think that takes away from teams wanting to give away players in the way that they might have in the past.
Yeah, I totally agree. And before we wrap up, I just want to say, I mean, again, we can't forget you got Bazemore. He's a wing. He's about 6'4", 6'5", and he's longer than that, right? So, we have a good bench. It's not like the bench is in dire need of a ton of wings. It's just, and again, and Juan Toscano-Anderson. Like to me, I can roll with Baze and JTA going in next year, knowing you're going to have Nico, knowing you're going to have Justinian Jessup and these dudes. Like you also got to realize like your bench is what it is, because you're not changing that starting five right now. So, you got to be prudent there. You got to be smart. So
yeah, that bench is just going to be added to it. There's going to be more depth into it. So.
It's going to be further developed, more chemistry. Yeah, continue going on.
Yeah, just, I don't think there needs to be any trades involved. Just, develop the young guys, wait till you have a full healthy team, automatically contend for a title next year.
Yeah.
Straight like that. So
I like it.
I mean,
fellas.
I think a segment I would like for us to tackle is if there was a trade, right? If there was a guy out there, and this could be for a later segment, who would it be? And I'm gonna just throw this out there, man. I know I may
Yeah.
just be too caught up in the moment, but Zach LaVine has just
Oh,
improved his
man.
game on a whole nother level. I don't even know if he'd be a good fit, but that guy, man, I love watching him play the few times that I do.
Yeah.
His highlights are incredible. So yeah, just want to give some credit and shout out to Zach LaVine, first time All-Star, I believe, with the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
So good for him.
He
Man.
deserved it.
Yep.
Deserved it.
Yeah, we talk a lot about dynamic athletes. He's a dynamic player, man. But it's so skilled too. You can't just be dynamic and not know what to do with the rock, and he
Yep.
does. So yeah, he's an incredible player.
Yep.
But yeah, let us know in the comments, you guys. So please let us know. So if there's some player out there that you think could realistically be on the team, now remember, you got to try to let's keep in mind what the Warriors could realistically get too, right?
They're gonna be like, get Giannis.
Yeah, exactly. No, we're not. That won't happen. But yeah, we would love your feedback. And with that, again, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the channel. Really appreciate your input, and we'll see you again next time.
Peace.
See you, everybody.
Yeah, it's by the bag with the triple single crew. We got Ronnie, Doc, Antonio, the real deal too. They coming and dropping knowledge, you know that they get to work.